And we're kind of talking about, obviously it's March, so we're talking about St. Patrick coming up, St. Patrick's Day. So guys, tell me about St. Patrick. I mean, why do we celebrate his St. Patrick's Day and everything?
Because he wore green. The only reason.
Well, St. Patrick is known as the missionary to Ireland that really converted Ireland. He was born in Britain. He was actually a Roman citizen born in Britain, and he was kidnapped and taken to Ireland at the age of 16, where he lived there. He lived there for 6 years, and although he was born Christian, he wasn't allowed to practice his Christian faith. That made him a very strong individual. And when he finally escaped, went to Rome and decided to become a priest, and go back to Ireland to convert it.
Interesting. And so, what are some fun facts about St. Patrick?
Well, there's a lot of legends about St. Patrick. You know, there's legends about him driving all the snakes out of Ireland and him getting in like battles or duels with druids, and where he called down fire and the druids couldn't bring down the fire, but he could light the fires. And there's other traditions or stories about St. Patrick where he would like travel around from town to town in disguises, because in some of the counties or towns that he would go to, you know, he had friends there, but the town wasn't completely converted, and so he had enemies there too. And so he'd be in disguises going to the different taverns and pubs and stuff, and would be hanging out with the people too, but also, you know, ministering and converting them. And there's also some other stories. They're Irish, so they tell a lot of stories, and they make them bigger and bigger every time they tell them. So, Pete, you had one about the tree. What was that one?
Well, when St. Patrick was going around Ireland, he would carry a stave with him. That was very something that almost everybody did back in those days. And it was made of oak. And when he went to convert a particular town, I believe it was Arda, he would drive the stave into the ground. But Arda was so hard to convert that by the time he came back to the stave, it had grown into a tree. It was now rooted and you cannot pull it out. So around the town of Arda, there's a tree that is said to be the tree that St. Patrick planted from his stave.
So yeah, another legend that I really love about St. Patrick is the way that he taught. It was simple and straightforward, biblical preaching that was understandable to the people at the time. One example is the using of the shamrock, 3 leaves, 1 stem, 1 plant, as a way to describe the Trinity, so Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Other fun facts about St. Patrick. He was born in 385. As Pete was saying, he was a Roman citizen. But he lived to the ripe old age of 76. He didn't die until 461. So at the time, living to 76 years old is a pretty good age. But as Pete was saying earlier, that he was sold into slavery at 16, and after 6 years of slavery in 407, he had a dream. God told him that he needed to try and escape slavery. So he did, and he was successful. He made it to Gaul, which is now France. There he fell under the spiritual direction of Germanius of Auxerre. I know it's a hard name, but it's a name that's there from the early times of the church. Fell under his spiritual direction and became a priest, basically after he figured out that God was calling him to live that life. And later he became a bishop after the Pope sent another bishop to Ireland. St. Patrick was not the first bishop to be sent. The Pope sent another bishop who gave up after 1 year, and I think the year was 431, but gave up after 1 year and went to Scotland, found Patrick and sent him in his stead. And Patrick spent 29 years then with the people of Ireland, preaching the gospel and converting the nation.
Very cool, very cool. Well, you guys want to play something just to end us out here?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Like all the band? Two.
In a neat little town they call Belfast, and a princess to trade I was bound. And it's many an hour of sweet happiness I spent in that neat little town. Till a sad misfortune came over me, it caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, to follow the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. As I've been walking down Broadway, the men passed us so by, and I knew she meant the undoing of me by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket, and she placed it right into my hand. And the very first thing that I thought was that looked in a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band.
Catch Easter Rising at the Dubliner on Harney Street on March 20th and 21st at 9 p.m.